crow than you did as a naked statue.
Pretty fancy scarecrow, Granny, even for a royal garden.
Garden? Ain't nothing to eat. Turn a bunch of hogs in here and they'd starve to death.
Granny, I think there's one of them gardens that's just supposed to look pretty.
What's prettier? A bed of roses or a patch of black-eyed peas?
Okra, whole beans, turnip greens. You know, we ought to send the Queen a mess.
With some fatback and a little something to wash it down with.
Mr. Drysdale's been inquiring for you. He's rather upset.
Ah, he's whining again because we won't go home. He's crazy, kid.
Well, Granny, we have been over here quite a spell, and he'd like to get back to Miss Drysdale.
I told you he was crazy. All right, tell him we'll go home.
Mighty thoughty of you, Granny.
I'm awfully sorry to hear this. May I ask when?
When I raise the Queen a mess of greens.
Thank you, madam. I'll tell him. But that would take months.
We've got to get back. Those idiots in my bank are ruining me.
He's worried about his image. Since he left, there hasn't been a single foreclosure.
That's right. My head cashier's getting married. He'll be stealing me blind.
Stealing?
He'll have to. Two people couldn't live on what I pay him.
Can't you leave the Clampetts with us, sir? Leave 80 million...
Who said the British don't have a sense of humor?
Mr. Drysdale's feelings for the Clampetts are somewhat biblical in nature. Whither they goeth, he goeth. Whither they stayeth, he stayeth.
Very touching, madam. But we've so enjoyed the Clampetts. There's so much they haven't seen. Well, they haven't even seen our ghosts.
Ghost, schmosh.
Ghost? Oh, yes, sir. Like all English castles, we have one in residence.
Well, that changes everything. The Clampetts would never forgive me if I deprived them of the chance of seeing their own ghost. Would they, Miss Hathaway?
Especially Granny.
She's fond of ghosts?
Well, let us say they really send her. Now, tell us all about it.
Well, sir, the story of Lady Clementine Clampett is quite a sad.
Oh, great, great. Stabbed by a jealous suitor?
No, sir.
Poisoned by a wicked stepmother?
No, sir.
Tortured on a rack in a dungeon?
No, sir. Kicked by a horse in the stable.
What a nothing ghost.
I think she sounds absolutely marvelous. What does she do, Mr. Faversham?
I understand she wanders about the castle weeping.
What is she weeping about?
If you had been kicked by a horse, wouldn't you weep?
Very good, madam.
What do you mean you ain't got none? The best fertilizer you can use. All right, send me over a wagon load of whatever you got.
Ah, here you are.
I know, so you want to go home.
Oh, no. Wild horses couldn't drag me away.
He just remembered what his wife looks like.
I don't want to miss the big event. Lady Clementine Clampett arrives tonight.
Why didn't you tell me you had kinfolks coming? I better go start the company victuals.
Oh, wait, Granny. Lady Clementine hasn't eaten in 400 years.
400 years?
She'll be hungrier than Jethro.
No, Granny, you see, she's a ghost.
Well, doggies, how about that, Granny?
Yeah. How about that?
Mr. Faversham just told me. 400 years ago, this very day, Lady Clementine was married here. But on her wedding night, her bridegroom, Sir Roger, was murdered.
Murdered?
Stabbed to death in the very bed you're sleeping in. And in her grief, Lady Clementine flung herself from a battlement into the rose garden below. What a mess.
Now she comes back looking for who killed her husband.
Weeping and wailing, moaning her bloody threats. Oh, if she ever finds that murderer.
Who done it?
Grandmother.
Grandmother?
Well, what kind of a grandmother was she?
Well, according to Mr. Faversham, she was just about your size, Granny.
You know, Jed, I've been awful selfish.
Selfish?
Keeping this poor man from his beautiful wife. Let's go pack.
Now, wait, Granny, you ain't leaving just on account of this ghost.
Oh, of course not. I'd just love to stay and get my head bashed in by one of your bloodthirsty relatives.
Oh, now, wait. Granny. Granny, wait a minute.
California, here we come, right back where we started from. Where about?
What are you all dancing about?
Oh, bad news, bad news. It always affects me this way. We're going home.
We can't go home. I'm still paying court to yon fair maid over to the next castle.
Court's adjourned. The ghost of Clampett Castle walks tonight, and Granny is terrified.
A ghost, is that all? Hey, I'll fix that.
Jethro, wait. What are you going to do?
Talk Granny out of it. I read up on these here castle ghosts, and all you got to do is hold a sea ants and exercise the rascals.
Jethro, listen.
Now, don't worry. We ain't gonna have to go home. I'll flush them out.
But Jethro, you're not a medium.
I know. I'm large.
What a family! A murdering grandmother. Bloodthirsty ghost. Ah, it wasn't me, Clementine. It wasn't me.
Granny, it's me, Jethro.
Don't scare me, Dad.
Relax, Granny, relax. I'm just gonna exercise the ghost.
When there's a ghost around here, I'm the one that gets the exercise.
Granny, where do you want her?
Not in the back, Clementine.
What's the jig, Granny?
Ah, you're just like your grandmother, sneaking up on folks when their backs is turned.
Granny.
Don't deny it, Jed. It was right in this very bed that she stabbed an innocent man sleeping 27 times and cut his throat like it was a hog killing.
Sure enough.
Granny, that ain't what Mr. Drysdale said.
Of course he didn't. He wanted to spare you the shame. You think that Lady Clementine jumped from the battlement? She was shoved.
Who shoved her?
His switchblade grandmother. Who else?
Granny, it ain't the grandmother that's supposed to come back. It's Lady Clementine.
She'll be looking for a grandmother, and after 400 years, her eyes ain't gonna be so good.
Granny, I can stop her from coming.
Just don't try to stop me from leaving.
Doggone it. First they laughed at us for running out on the War of the Roses, and now they's gonna laugh at us for running out on a 400-year-old woman.
Who's gonna laugh?
Your friend the Queen, that's who.
Well, she ain't got no ghost after her.
She ain't? Every night Ann Boleyn is rolling her head up and down the halls. The whole palace sounds like a bowling alley. And she ain't gonna laugh, especially when you got me, Sir Jethro, to protect you. She'd drop me herself.
Well, maybe she won't hear about it.
Are you kidding? This ghost will tell Ann Boleyn. The first thing you know, it'll be all over the palace.
How do you exercise a ghost?
Well, first you hold what you call a seance. It gets around the table at night, and then you raps on the table for the ghost.
Shh. Not so loud.
Fine. 6 on the 6:45 flight. Good. Thank you very much. Well, Chief, we're all set.
But are the Clampetts all set?
We's all set, Mr. Drysdale.
We're leaving?
No, we're staying. Jethro said he's going to hold the sea ants to get rid of the ghost for Granny.
Oh, but Mr. Clampett, really.
You don't think he can get in touch with the ghost?
Oh, but Jethro's right at home in the Twilight Zone. I guarantee you he'll contact the ghost. Right, Lady Miss Hathaway?
Well, you ain't scared of ghosts, Miss Jane.
Oh, no, just certain flesh and blood types.
Good, good. Well, I'll see you at the sea ant.
You can bet on that. Oh, and Mr. Clampett, why don't you let all the servants have the night off? You know ghosts, they hate crowds. It might help Jethro.
Well, that's mighty thoughtful of you, Mr. Drysdale.
Did you hear that?
Now, hear this. I will have no part of this dastardly scheme to frighten Granny. I will not be the ghost.
You'll be this ghost, or you'll be a real ghost. It's a long drop from that battlement.
You wasn't.
Never mind the flattery. You have some shopping to do in town, Lady Clementine.
All set, boy?
Oh, yes, sir, Uncle Jed. As soon as Granny finishes primping.
Well, Jethro, you're wearing my damsel in distress hat.
It's my wizard hat now. Old Merlin used to wear one like this when he was conjuring.
What you wearing, Granny?
This. Ain't no ghost mistaking me for no 400-year-old grandmother.
Granny, you're wearing my Minnie outfit.
If you had rompers, I'd have worn them.
Oh, Granny. Hey, where's Mr. Drysdale and Miss Jane?
Mr. Drysdale says this ought to be strictly family. They's going to bed.
They's gone under the bed.
Granny's hiding out in a miniskirt. I'll scare her right out of it.
Steve, it is not going to work.
It can't miss. I've got a mic and speaker hidden in there. We can hear everything they say. And when I press this button, they can hear everything the ghosts have to say.
I am not uttering one word into that microphone.
You don't have to. I've got a better angle. Now go get ready.
Can I talk to the ghost, Pa?
I wouldn't count on it, Ellie.
You ready, Granny?
Of course I'm ready. Hold it.
What's the matter?
You didn't count.
Boy, what a wizard has got to put up with. 1, 2, 3, go.
You didn't say may I.
Hey, let the boy get on with it.
This is spooky. What do you do now?
First, I got to let him know I'm here. Fee, fi, fo, fum. Look out, ghost. Here I come.
Jethro, you're gonna conjure up a John.
Ellie, go on, boy.
Now I got to turn on my giant brain and put in my long-distance call. Calling Lady Clementine. Calling Lady Clementine. Hello. It's a man.
You booby, you got the wrong number. Hang up.
To whom do you wish to speak?
Is Lady Clementine there?
No, she's on her way to the Clampett Castle. Is there a message?
Yeah. Would you mind telling her that she's dead?
Dead? I'm the one who's dead.
Who are you?
I'm her husband, Sir Roger.
Jed, he stirred up a whole nest of them.
And who might you be?
Me? Oh, I'm just a friend of the family.
You yellow belly.
The lady I hear. Who is she?
That's Granny. That's Granny.
Oh, the grandmother.
You blabbermouth, I'm gonna kill you.
And she will. Struck me down in my prime 27 times on my wedding night.
But I ain't the one.
My wife will decide that. She'll be there any moment. Hurry up, halfway.
I'm telling you, I ain't the one.
Do you still carry that knife?
I got something better than a knife buster.
Granny, mister, I wouldn't say no more.
My wife will do my talking.
And this'll do mine.
Gee, what happened?
Hey.
What exploded?
Granny.
She has a gun?
A cannon.
Does it?
Come in, Sir Roger. Hello. Sir Jethro D. Bodine calling Sir Roger. Come in, Sir Roger.
Yeah, come on in. I'll give you another helping of rock salt and bacon rind.
How could you make her put that thing down? Lady Clementine will be coming through that door in a second now.
Excuse me, Sir Roger. Ladies first.
Hey, you can't shoot Lady Clementine. She's kinfolks.
I'll hit her off. Lady Clementine! Hey, Lady Clementine!
Granny, give me the gun.
That's perfect. Here, help me into this thing, chicken.
Granny has a gun.
Mr. Clampett has the gun.
Where are you going?
I'm off to see the wizard.
Hey, Lady Clementine! Lady Clementine! Sir Jethro D. Bodine calling. I got a surprise for you. Your husband's been murdered again.
When you hear a scream, don't be alarmed. It'll be Jethro.
But, Chief, you...
Shh. Start packing.
Now, Granny, I've gone along with you and Jethro on this ghost business, but this has gone too far. Now, will you please give me the gun?
Look.
It's Lady Clementine. done?
She's after my baby!
Lady Clementine? Wait. I'm just a friend of the family. I ain't even a good friend.
Well, so sorry you have to go, madam.
Got to. The boy's scared to death of ghosts.
But Mr. Drysdale said...
Ah, he's worse than Jethro. The same ghost scared them both out of the castle last night.
Scared Mr. Drysdale so he run right through the rose bushes. Tore the seat clean out of his pants.
See? Well, we do hope you'll all come back again very soon.
I'll be back. Going in a new business. Granny's ghost eradicator. Relatives a specialty.
Hey, you and that gun of yours is the main reason we's leaving.
I ain't got no 6th grade education, but I speak the language a ghost understands.
Come on, Granny.
Lady Clementine ain't gonna get you.
Very here, everybody.
There's something wrong. Folks here in London are still staring and pointing at us.
Yeah. And Queen Elizabeth herself said she'd tell him we didn't chicken out on the War of the Roses.
Right, we want it fair and square.
Yes, well, that's why they're pointing at you. It's not the finger of shame, it's the finger of fame. You're celebrities now.
Doggy.
Oh, I didn't get to make Queen Elizabeth like the rest of you.
It was a mighty high honor, Ellie.
Well, still plenty of time before the airplane leaves. Jethro, drive us over to Buckingham Palace.
No, I mean, you can't see the Queen without an appointment.
We take our chances.
A fine mess you've got us into now.
It was your idea that I impersonate Queen Elizabeth, not mine.
Jethro, please don't go to Buckingham Palace. Drive straight to the airport.
Why, Mr. Drysdale?
Tell them, Miss Hathaway.
What? The chief didn't want to come right out and say it, but the Queen has probably heard about Sir Jethro running from the ghost.
Oh, that's right. And she'll probably take away his knighthood.
Can she do that?
If she can drub you, I reckon she can undrub you.
Yes, and when she undrubs you, she'll hit you with the sharp edge of the blade.
Jethro, you dumb old black knight coward. You done kept me from meeting the Queen.
Don't get upset, Ellie. We'll have Jethro to wait in the truck whilst the rest of us go in and see Her Majesty.
Mr. Drysdale can't go. He run from the ghost, too.
Oh, you're right, Sir Jethro. Oh, I was a craven coward. And if the Queen sees the rest of you drive up to the palace with me, she'll throw everyone in the dungeon.
Mr. Drysdale, I mean this in the friendliest way. But would you please jump?
Granny, we all come here together, and we're all leaving together. Drive straight to the airport, boy.
Let me sit on the outside, Jed, so I can look after Mr. Drysdale. He's still powerful shook up from that spook.
Yeah, he does seem to be mighty edgy. Can't seem to sit still.
Relax, Lady Clementine. You only have to sit for 6,000 miles.
Very fun.
What's the matter, Mr. Drysdale? You still got briars in your britches from the rose bushes?
You think you got trouble sitting? Think of Lady Clementine.
She's gonna be eating off the mantle from now till next Christmas. look like you seen a ghost.
Now, Granny, you know ghosts don't ride no airplane, don't you?
I ain't scared of no ghosts. And I ain't never gonna be scared of no ghosts! Get back! Get back! Where's my shotgun? Where's my rifle? Where's my bacon ride?
Your attention, please. Flight number 121 from London, now arriving.
Home, sweet home.
We's much obliged to you folks.
Not at all.
You know, Jed, after all that nice clean air over there in England, it's gonna be awful hard to get used to this smog again.
Well, look on the bright side, Granny. At least here we can see what we're breathing.
Mrs. Drysdale, how soon you think Jethro will get here with the truck?
Oh, not long, Ellie. It's on a cargo plane that was due to land right after us.
Oh, good. I want him to drive me around the neighborhood to collect up all my critters.
Oh, wait a minute, Mr. Clampett. Don't you try to carry all those bags.
Oh, that's all right. They ain't heavy.
Nonsense. Give me a hand, Miss Hathaway.
Be it ever so humble, there's no place like home.
I'd have helped you, Mr. Clampett, but I have this thing with my back.
Yes, he doesn't like to use it.
Look at all the mail that come while we was gone. Most of it's for that fellow occupant.
I wish Mr. Ackerman would show up someday.
Yeah, we got a whole closet full of mail for him.
Actually, Mr. Clampett.
Looky here, a letter from Cousin Pearl.
Well, we'll be running along, Mr. Clampett. I'm very anxious to get back to my loved ones.
Yeah, I reckon you must have missed your family.
Family?
He's referring to his loved ones in the vault at the bank. Bye.
I'll take your suitcases upstairs.
Don't take mine, Jed. I gotta leave right away for Petticoat Junction. You can reach me at the Shady Rest Hotel in Hooterville. Ellie, call him and tell him the doctor's on the way.
Hold on, Granny.
Oh, yeah. I forgot my medical supplies.
Well, who needs a doctor? What happened?
Cousin Pearl. She sprained her back dancing with Walter McKeegan at the Harvest Home Festival and Waltz Contest. She won't be able to take care of the baby.
What baby? Who had a baby? Wasn't Cousin Pearl, was it?
Well, I should hope not. Her a widow for 10 years.
Well, then whose baby is it?
Betty Jo Elliott's.
Who's Betty Jo Elliott?
Kate Bradley's daughter.
Well, who's Kate Bradley?
She runs the Shady Rest Hotel. She's Joe Carson's niece.
What's all this got to do with Cousin Pearl?
What do you mean?
Well, she sprained her back dancing with Walter McKeegan.
Oh, it serves her right. He's the worst dancer in 4 counties.
This is the most confused I ever been with Jethro out of the house.
Let's see. What am I going to need if I have to take care of a baby? Possum fat to grease him with. Lye soap to wash off the possum fat. Cornstarch to ease the sting of the lye soap. Ellie, did you get me called to Hooterville?
Well, I didn't know who to call.
Kate Bradley.
Well, who's she?
Oh, you tell her, Jed. I'm too busy.
Well, I ain't too clear about it myself.
Oh, Jed, you remember Kate Bradley?
Word on or I don't.
Here, Ellie, fetch my medical bag and start filling it. And then try and get my call to Hooterville.
Yes, Granny.
I got the truck, Uncle Jed. Hey, Granny, how soon do we eat?
Never mind that. You gotta drive me to the Shady Rest Hotel. I'm gonna take care of a baby.
Who had a baby?
Betty Jo Elliott.
Who's Betty Jo Elliott?
Kate Bradley's daughter.
Well, who's...
Leave it right there, boy.
Granny, talk to the long-distance operator. She's putting a call through to Hooterville.
Praise be.
Hey, listen, Granny. I just found out that it's 8 hours later in England than it is here.
So?
I'm 8 hours behind in my eating.
Oh, don't bother me. I got an emergency long-distance call.
Hey, but Granny, I'm starving. I'm desperate. I can't wait.
Let Ellie cook you something.
I can wait.
This is the doctor speaking.
Ready to verify your call to Hooterville.
Good, good.
Drugstore store. What's that, Sarah? Hey, Joe, somebody calling all the way from Beverly Hills.
Probably Conrad Hilton wanted to buy the Shady Rest. Let me have
Just a minute. Hello? No, man, this ain't the Shady Rest. They ain't got a phone.
Well, how do I get in touch with Kate Bradley?
Well, Kate's out of town, but Uncle Joe's here.
This is Joseph Carson, president and general manager of the Shady Rest Hotel chain, limited and incorporated. This you, Connie?
No, this is Daisy. Dr. Daisy Moses. How's Betty Jo's baby?
Well, I don't know. It's still in the hospital.
Oh, the poor little thing must be awful sick. They've taken her to the hospital. Well, don't give up hope. The world's greatest baby specialist is on the way.
Granny, that's a powerful claim. World's greatest baby specialist.
Well, didn't I take care of Jethro here when he was a baby? And look how he turned out. Well, you can't win them all. Get out of here! You're driving me to Hooterville!
On an empty stomach?
Now on the truck, now get going.
But, Granny, I'm starving.
This is a matter of medical emergency, a case of life or death.
So's this. If I don't eat, I'll die.
You can eat when you get to Hooterville.
Oh, where's Hooterville? How do we get there?
You know how to get there, Jed?
I never heard of the place before today. Maybe you'd best call back and get the directions.
Yeah. Don't you snarl at me.
That was my stomach growling.
You gotta get your mind off of victuals. Now, you want to dial the phone?
Dial it, put mustard on it, and I'll eat it.
Get that truck ready!
Drugstore store. Oh, hi, Sheriff. Beverly Hills again? Hello?
Tell me quick, how do I get to Hooterville?
Are you driving?
Jethro is. Hang on, I'll fetch him.
What's going on?
It's that woman baby doctor from Beverly Hills.
Somebody's playing a joke on us. It's probably that bunch over at the barber shop.
You think so?
Of course. Beverly Hills. That little woman's as acidified as Newt Kiley's pig.
Sarah said that
She's in on it, too. Here, let me have it. You always were a sucker for a practical joke.
Now listen cheerful and get the directions to Hooterville.
Howdy. Can I get something to eat there?
Never mind that.
You ought to hear this, Yahoo. I think it is Newt Kiley's pig.
That's for writing, not eating.
This here's Jethro. I'm fixing to ride down them directions.
Yeah, son. You say you're driving? Good. Now listen carefully. First you.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. I got it. We'll be there. Sure do, thank you. Bye.
Did you get it?
Yeah. Couldn't I have a little something to snack on the way? Like a ham or a turkey or a side of beef?
Forget your stomach. What's the directions?
Well, first we got to go to the Painted Desert. And he says we got to watch out because it's just been fresh painted. Then we come to Lake Mead and we drive across it. But he says don't use the bridge because it's dangerous. Now we come to the Grand Canyon and we got to be extra careful driving across that rascal because he says that first dip is a lula.
You can't drive across the Grand Canyon.
Okay, and let's eat.
Excuse me, Chief. Would it be possible for me to have a few days off? You see,
Miss Hathaway, you don't have to ask me a question like that. Now then, how long have you been with me?
11 years.
Then you know the answer. It's no.
Very well. I'll tell Mr. Clampett.
Mr. Clampett! What's he got to do with it?
Well, he's the one who asked me if I could get a few days off. You see, Granny's going away, and they needed someone to help out.
Why didn't you say it was for Mr. Clampett?
I took the liberty of checking available personnel, and I found you a most efficient secretary.
Attractive?
Definitely.
That blonde with the great build?
Yes, I'd say he's built beautifully.
He?
And his typing in shorthand.
Forget it. Where's Granny leaving? Where's she going?
Well, as I understand it, she's going to a town called Hooterville to take care of Betty Jo Elliott's baby.
Who's Betty Jo Elliott?
She's Kate Bradley's daughter.
Who is Kate Bradley?
I made the mistake of asking Granny that same question. Would you care to hear the saga of the Beasley family who live behind Buzzard Ridge?
Not unless there's money in it.
Then I'll be on my way. You may reach me at the Clampetts.
Ellie, honey, what you doing?
Boiling some grits.
Oh, Ellie, you don't have to do no cooking. Miss Jane's coming over.
Oh, these grits is for my feathered critter. See?
Oh, rock grit.
Yes, sir. They need 'em for their gizzards.
What you boiling for?
To get the tar out. Quick as it boils to the top, I'll skim it off.
I believe to protect them critters, I'd get 'em out of the kitchen.
Oh, that's right. Granny still ain't left.
No, it ain't Granny they got to fear. It's Jethro. He still ain't at it.
You think y'all get 'em out?
Speaking of Jethro, Granny's looking high and low for him. I'll go check the root cellar.
Hey, Ellie, hey, what's that on the stove?
Grits for my critters.
Critters? How do you like that? Everybody eats except me. Sure do smell good. Look at that nice black gravy. She must have thrown in some molasses. Go the heck with them critters. Ma says human beings comes first. I think these grits needs to cook 'em out longer.
Jethro!
Uh-oh, they ain't gonna be time.
There you go, stuffing your face when I need you to go out and get me some medical supplies before we leave for Hooterville. You hear me? I need some rickwweed and some sweet gum bark, coltsfoot leaves, and a good big mud dauber's nest because I might have to pull this little fella. Are you listening? What you eating?
Well, grits and blackstrap molasses. But to tell you the truth, Granny, you cook better in your day.
I didn't cook no grits and blackstrap.
Oh, I see you found Jethro. Reckon you two will be leaving soon.
Yeah, now that he's done stuffing himself with grits.
Grits? Boy, you didn't eat them grits that was boiling on the stove, did you?
Oh, just one helping. But you know something? It sure sits heavy in a fellow's stomach.
Now, never mind. Come on, now, let's get going. I got some doctoring to do in Hooterville.
I think you got some doctoring to do right here.
Who's sick?
Me.
What's the matter?
If I didn't know better, I'd swear I swallowed a bunch of rocks.
You did.
What are you talking about?
Never mind that. Let's get this young'un up to bed.
Come on in, Miss Jane. Sure is nice of you to fill in for Granny.
My pleasure, Ellie. I'm particularly anxious to prepare some of the gastronomical delights indigenous to your native hills.
Well, I sure hope you have some time to do some cooking, too.
I'm preparing collard greens and ham hocks, fatback and black-eyed peas.
Oh, don't forget grits. They's Jethro's favorite.
Excellent. What's the matter with Jethro?
He's feeling a mite rocky.
Oh, cheer up, dear boy. I'm going to fix you a huge pot of grits.
Miss Jane, you could have gone all day without saying that.
He got sick stuffing himself on the grits Ellie was boiling.
Jethro, you big dumb nut. I was boiling rocks.
Yeah? Well, them still the best things you ever cooked.
Leave him be.
Granny, do you think you can help him?
Miss Jane, these is the tender healing hands of a physician and surgeon. I'll cure Jethro if I have to find a big rooster and perform a gizzard transplant.
Where you going, boy?
I gotta get away from them tender healing hands.
How's Jethro? Is he going to be all right?
Oh, of course he is. That boy has got a stomach that would make a goat green with envy. Did you call Hooterville and tell him I'd be late?
Yes, ma'am.
What'd they say?
Oh, it sounded like they said, get lost.
Must have said, don't get lost.
Oh, I reckon so.
Well, you run upstairs and keep an eye on Jethro. Take his temperature every half hour.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, where's your pa and Miss Jane?
Oh, they's out in the kitchen.
Granny keeps his spices and such on the top shelf yonder. You want me to reach them down for you?
No, no. I must learn to be self-sufficient. Oh! Oh!
What's the matter?
It's my sacroiliac. It goes out of me occasionally.
Well, I'll run fetch Granny.
No, please. She might want to perform a spine transplant.
How can I help you?
Well, just let me ease my weight back while you support me.
Sure you don't want me to fetch Granny?
Please promise you won't breathe a word of this to her.
All right.
This'll ease up. I hope I'm not too heavy.
Oh, shucks, no, Miss Jane. I can hold you like this all day.
What's going on here?
Nothing, Granny. We're just talking.
Yeah, we're just standing here trying to decide what to have for supper.
How's Jethro?
He's all right.
Well, then I guess you'll be starting for Hooterville.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm leaving right away.
Have a good trip.
Yeah, see you when you get back.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Well, bye.
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 Uh-huh. Bye.
Bye. She gone?
Yeah.
I hope she didn't suspect anything.
Oh, no, she's got a lot on her mind. You know, Miss Jane, why don't I pick you up and carry you into the parlor? There's a dandy sofa in there.
Well, I'm afraid I'm too heavy.
Not at all.
Oh, you're so strong.
Miss Jane, holding a young girl in my arms makes me feel young myself.
Oh.
Oh, thank you for coming, Mr. Drysdale. I just got to share my terrible burden with someone.
Well, what is it?
Jed has took leave of his senses.
Oh, Granny, if I have ever known a steady, stable, rational human being, it's Jed Clampett. Whatever made you think such a thing?
He has fell head over heels in love with your secretary, Miss Jane.
The man is stark raving mad.
He's in the parlor. Sparked it.
Granny, I took Jethro's temperature, and he ain't got no fever at all.
Wish I could say the same for your pa.
How's that?
Oh, fine. A little while, and I'll be able to stand.
Good.
Let's just go back up and take another look at the gizzard boy.
And here I was, anxious to sharpen my domestic skills, and the first thing I do is sprain my back.
Don't worry about it.
But I do. Like all career girls, I still hope someday Mr. Right will come along.
He will, Miss Jane. Don't you worry.
Fine wife I'll make.
You make a dandy wife.
Oh,
Ready for the big step?
ready.
With all my worldly goods, I thee endow.
Oh, no. For 11 years, I've treated that girl like a dog. Now she's going to control that 80 million.
How you feeling, Miss Jane?
Just marvelous. Ready to start running the house.
No, wait! Please, Miss Hathaway, come back to the back. I need you.
Why, Mr. Drysdale.
But, Chief...
Don't call me Chief. We're pals, buddies, equals in every way. Oh, I'm going to give you a big raise. You can have my office and your own private secretary.
I don't know what to say.
Oh, say yes! Say yes! I need you!
I think you'd best go with him, Miss Jane. This man is desperate.
Try this business, Miss Hathaway. I think you like it. Is it satisfactory?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I'm so pleased.
I've heard of coffee breaks before, but a champagne break?
It's no more than you deserve. Oh, try the caviar.
Isn't this a $50 an ounce caviar you kept locked in the vault?
Let's not think of money. Enjoy.
And these fabulous jewels. Didn't they belong to your wife?
Not any longer. Oh, that must be your private secretary.
Oh.
Come in.
Ready to take dictation, Miss Hathaway.
I'll get it. You two young people just eat, drink, and be merry. Miss Hathaway's office.
That you, Mr. Drysdale? Well, I thought you'd be pleased to know that Jethro is fine again, and we's all fixing to drive Granny to the station to see her off for Petticoat Junction.
By the way, we sure got a chuckle about what you and Granny thought was going on.
What do you mean?
Well, Granny told me that you and her got the idea Miss Jane and me was going to get hitched.
And you ain't? Isn't Orange?
Chucks, no. She's a fine young woman, but there ain't nothing twixt us.
Come on, Jed. We'll miss the train to Hooterville.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Mr. Drysdale, what...
Back to the secretarial pool.
You said that I...
Out!
You're taking back the joy?
And the rays, and see that you get every one of those fish eggs back in that caviar can and reseal it.
But pal, buddy.
Chief to you, and cork that champagne, take it back to the liquor store and get my money back.
Well, I don't understand.
Attention! Forward, Hutch! Up, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4.
The story begins with the humble life of a man named Jed, a simple mountaineer who lived in the hills and worked hard just to keep his family fed. Life was quiet and modest until the day he was out hunting for food and his rifle blast struck the earth. Instead of game, up from the ground came a thick, bubbling black liquid. Jed had struck oil, and suddenly his world was transformed. His kinfolk encouraged him to leave the mountains behind, suggesting that California was the place to be. With their belongings packed onto an old truck, the family set off for Beverly Hills, trading their rustic lifestyle for swimming pools and movie stars. As they settled into their new, grand environment, the contrast between their old habits and their new surroundings became a source of constant amusement. Granny, ever the skeptic, found little value in the fancy gardens of the mansion, longing instead for a patch of black-eyed peas or turnip greens. She often wondered why people would bother with roses when they could not eat them. Mr. Drysdale, their frantic banker, was perpetually worried about their presence in Beverly Hills, especially since their departure from the hills had caused a decline in his own peace of mind. He was constantly fretting over his image and the chaos that ensued whenever the Clampetts became involved in local high society. The family eventually found themselves visiting an old English castle, an adventure that brought new challenges. Upon arriving, they were introduced to the local lore, specifically the legend of a ghost known as Lady Clementine. The story told of her tragic end, allegedly murdered by a suitor centuries ago. The family, particularly Granny, was initially unsettled by the notion of a spirit wandering the halls. Mr. Drysdale, hoping to keep the Clampetts happy and near his bank, played along with the ghost stories to keep them entertained, unaware of the unintended consequences. Jethro, eager to prove his worth and bravery, decided to take matters into his own hands. He read about seances and ghost hunting, convinced that he could clear the castle of any unwanted spirits. His attempts at being a mediator between the living and the dead were clumsy and humorous, often leading to more confusion than clarity. Granny, meanwhile, remained prepared for anything, even brandishing a shotgun against a ghost she believed was threatening her kin. The antics grew wilder as the family tried to navigate the superstitions of the ancient castle while holding onto their own unique perspective on life. Mr. Drysdale, while trying to manipulate the situation, often found himself becoming the victim of his own schemes. He and his assistant, Miss Jane, found the Clampetts to be a handful, yet they could not help but be drawn into the whirlwind of the family's activities. Every time they tried to restore order, the Clampetts would inadvertently cause a new, hilarious complication. The ghost story served as a catalyst for a series of events that tested everyone's nerves, leading to moments of genuine, lighthearted tension that never strayed into true danger. As the time approached for the family to return to their home, the atmosphere turned toward introspection. The experience in the castle had been a whirlwind of culture shock and spectral intrigue. Despite the absurdity of the situations, the core of the family remained unchanged. They valued their own traditions and their own bonds, even when faced with royalty or historical hauntings. The thought of leaving brought a sense of relief to some, while others realized that the adventure had been a unique chapter in their lives that they would remember for years to come. The final preparations for their departure were filled with the same bustle that had defined their arrival. There were final goodbyes, humorous misunderstandings about the rules of society, and the simple, grounding presence of the family unit. Mr. Drysdale, relieved that his clients were departing without causing further disruption to his professional life, tried to maintain a facade of composure. The Clampetts, however, remained true to their roots. They looked forward to the comfort of the familiar, taking with them memories of a world that was vastly different from their own, yet fundamentally just as human. As they boarded the airplane to head home, there was a sense of contentment in the air. The ghost of the castle, their encounters with the elite, and the frantic pace of their time in the city faded into the background. They were going back to the place where they truly belonged, where the pace of life matched the rhythm of their hearts. The journey had been long and filled with unexpected twists, but they had navigated it together as a family, with their spirits intact and their laughter shared. Looking back on their time away, they recognized that they had been treated as outsiders in a strange land, but they had also been given a spotlight that few ever experience. The fame, the attention, and the excitement of the city were all temporary, but the experience of seeing the world and standing their ground in their own way had provided them with a new sense of identity. They were still the same people who had left the hills with nothing but a dream, and they were returning with their dignity and their humor fully preserved. In the end, it was not the ghosts or the royalty that mattered most, but the way they had faced every obstacle with unwavering loyalty to one another. They had learned that whether in a mansion in Beverly Hills or a castle in England, the most important thing was the company you kept and the kindness you showed. They headed back to their roots, ready to share their stories, knowing that they had lived a life that would be told for generations. It was a journey of growth, of discovery, and of finding that home is truly where the heart is. As the plane lifted off the ground, the family looked down at the shrinking landscape below. They had navigated the complexities of a life they never expected to lead, and they had come out the other side with their values stronger than ever. They were returning to the hills, to the simple joys of a life well lived, and to the quiet peace that only the mountains could provide. The adventure was over, but the memories of their time away would remain a testament to their resilience and their enduring spirit. The story of the Clampetts serves as a reminder that no matter where you go, you can always carry your values with you. They navigated a world of excess and ancient history, yet they remained grounded in the simplicity of their upbringing. They faced threats with humor, misunderstandings with patience, and challenges with a strength that came from their deep bond. Their journey is a testament to the power of family, the joy of a light heart, and the importance of staying true to oneself in the face of an ever-changing world. As they touched down back in their own familiar territory, they were greeted by the sights and sounds of the life they knew and loved. The air felt cleaner, the pace of life felt more natural, and the comfort of the familiar was a welcome embrace. They had been away, they had seen the world, and they had experienced the heights of excitement and the depths of absurdity. Yet, as they walked off the plane, they knew that there was no place like home, and they were ready to embrace the life they had built with renewed appreciation. The saga of their adventures would continue in the quiet halls of their memories, a tale to be shared over campfires and family gatherings for years to come. They had lived, they had laughed, and they had grown, all while keeping their eyes focused on the things that truly mattered. The world outside had offered them much, but they had found the greatest wealth in the simple love and understanding that they shared with one another. They were, and would always be, the people who had found their way to the hills and back again, with grace, humor, and a spirit that could never be broken. Thus, the story of Jed and his kin concludes, not with a grand finale of riches or fame, but with the quiet, lasting beauty of a family reunited with their own peace. They had lived the life they were given, embraced the opportunities that came their way, and returned to their roots with their hearts full. It was a journey that had defined their lives and strengthened their bonds, and it would remain a beacon of joy and inspiration for everyone who knew their tale. The hills were waiting, and the Clampetts were finally, happily home. The quiet of the mountains welcomed them back like an old friend. The familiar trees, the gentle streams, and the clear blue sky were a welcome contrast to the bustling city and the eerie halls of the castle. They settled back into their routine, finding comfort in the simple tasks of daily life and the steady rhythm of the changing seasons. The world might have changed for others, but for them, the most important things remained the same. They were together, they were safe, and they were content in the place they had always called home. Looking out over the hills, Jed thought of all that had passed. The oil, the truck, the mansion, the castle, the ghost, and the queen. It all seemed like a dream, a whirlwind of events that had changed the course of their lives forever. But as he looked at his family gathered around, he knew that the true treasure was not the gold or the fame, but the laughter and the love that had guided them through it all. He was a rich man, not because of the money, but because of the life he had led and the people who had walked beside him every step of the way. Granny sat in her rocking chair, the peacefulness of the mountains settling over her like a warm blanket. She had faced ghosts, royals, and bankers, and she had come out on top. She had her pride, her shotgun, and her family, and that was all she needed. The memories of their time away were like a storybook, one that she would read again and again, finding new details and hidden gems in every chapter. She was content, and she was ready to enjoy the simple pleasures of the life she loved. Jethro, ever the dreamer, found new things to explore in the wilderness. He had learned that the world was much larger than he had ever imagined, and he was eager to learn more. He had his own way of seeing things, a unique perspective that had brought both chaos and joy to their adventures. He was ready to apply what he had learned to his life in the hills, always looking for the next big thing, but never forgetting the importance of the family that supported him in all his endeavors. Ellie, with her gentle heart and her love for all living things, found comfort in the animals and the nature that surrounded them. She had seen the world beyond the hills, but her heart had always been tethered to the beauty of her home. She was grateful for the experiences they had shared, but she was also thankful to be back where she could truly be herself. She looked forward to the future, knowing that whatever it might bring, they would face it together with the same spirit and the same love that had always defined them. The years passed, and the story of the Clampetts became a legend in their own right, a tale of a family that had found their way through the world with nothing but their own unique brand of charm and resilience. They had taught everyone they met that the most important things in life are not the possessions you acquire or the places you visit, but the love you share and the memories you create. They had left their mark on the world, and the world, in turn, had left its mark on them, creating a legacy of joy and inspiration that would never fade. As the sun set over the hills, painting the sky in shades of orange and gold, the family sat together, feeling the peace that only home can provide. They had been through so much, and yet they were still the same family that had set out on their adventure so long ago. They had faced the unknown, embraced the challenges, and found their way back to the center of their lives. They were home, they were together, and they were truly happy, knowing that the journey had been worth every step, every laugh, and every moment of their remarkable lives. The legacy of their story remained in the hearts of those who heard it, a reminder of the power of faith, the importance of family, and the joy of a life lived with honesty and humor. They had shown that even in a world that often seems cold and uncaring, there is always room for the warmth of a family and the light of a shared experience. They were the people of the hills, the dreamers, and the adventurers, and their story would continue to inspire generations to come, reminding them that no matter how far you travel, the most important journey is the one that leads you back to the ones you love. In the end, it was the simple life that had given them the most, the life they had known before the world had come knocking at their door. They had returned to their roots, not because they had failed in the world outside, but because they had found what they were truly searching for. They had found the peace that comes from knowing who you are, where you belong, and who you can always count on. The story of Jed and his kin was complete, a beautiful, lasting testament to the simple joy of being exactly who you are, in the place you love, with the people who love you. The mountains stood tall and proud, a silent witness to their journey, a steady anchor in an ever-changing world. The family found comfort in the knowledge that they were part of something greater, a heritage that would survive long after the stories were told and the laughter faded. They lived their lives with purpose and passion, always looking for the next adventure, but always cherishing the one they had already lived. And so, the story continues, in the hearts of those who knew them and the lives they touched, a legacy of love, laughter, and the enduring beauty of a family that always found its way home. The days turned into weeks, the weeks into months, and the months into years, but the spirit of their adventure remained fresh and vibrant. They never tired of telling the story of the oil, the truck, the mansion, and the castle, always finding new ways to describe the wonder and the absurdity of it all. Each telling brought them closer, a shared experience that bonded them in a way that no one else could understand. They were the Clampetts, and they had lived a life that was truly their own, a testament to the power of the human spirit and the joy of a life well lived. As they looked toward the future, they knew that there would be more adventures, more challenges, and more moments of joy to share. They were ready for whatever life had in store for them, confident in the strength of their family and the wisdom of their journey. They were a family that had seen the world and returned to their roots, not because they had to, but because they had found the true meaning of happiness in the place they had always called home. And so, they lived, they loved, and they were happy, a simple, beautiful life that was their greatest achievement of all. The story of the Clampetts is a story of hope, a reminder that no matter how difficult the path may seem, there is always a way forward if you have the courage to keep moving and the love to keep you grounded. They had faced the world with open arms and a ready smile, and they had found that the world was often just as strange and wonderful as they were. They had learned that the most important thing is not where you are, but who you are with, and that with a little bit of faith and a lot of heart, you can find the joy in any journey. Their journey had been a long and winding one, filled with ups and downs, but it had all led them to where they were meant to be. They had seen the world, lived in the lap of luxury, and explored the depths of history, and through it all, they had remained true to their roots. They were the family from the hills, the ones who had found their way back, and their story was a testament to the enduring power of the human heart. They had lived, they had loved, and they were, in every sense of the word, home. And so, the story of Jed and his kin ends where it began, in the quiet, peaceful hills that they had always called their own. They were a family that had journeyed far and wide, but had always kept their eyes on the things that truly mattered. They had found their peace, their joy, and their purpose in the simple, everyday life they lived. And as they sat together in the warmth of the evening, they knew that they had everything they needed, and they were content in the knowledge that they were exactly where they were meant to be. The world outside might continue to turn, and new stories would be written, but the story of the Clampetts would always remain a beacon of hope and joy. It was a story of a family that had faced the world, explored the unknown, and returned to their roots with their hearts full and their spirits lifted. They had lived, they had loved, and they had found the true meaning of home, and that was all that mattered. They were the Clampetts, and their story would continue to be told, a timeless tale of a family that had found their way, time and time again, back to each other. The mountains remained, the stars shone bright, and the life they lived continued, a beautiful, steady pulse in the heart of the hills. They were a family of dreams and of reality, of humor and of strength, and their story was a tapestry of all the moments that had brought them together. They were, and always would be, a family that knew the value of every single day, every single breath, and every single moment they spent together. They were home, they were happy, and they were, in their own way, legendary. The final chapter of their journey was not the end, but a new beginning, a chance to live the life they had built with even more appreciation and love. They looked forward to the future, knowing that they had the strength to face anything that came their way. They were a family of the hills, a family of the world, and a family of the heart. And as they walked into the future, they did so with their heads held high, their hands held together, and their hearts full of the joy that had defined their remarkable life. The story of Jed and his family is one that transcends time and space, a story that resonates with everyone who has ever dreamed of something more, yet found their greatest treasure in the things they already had. They had been to the stars and back, and they had returned with a new understanding of what it means to live, to love, and to be truly happy. They were the Clampetts, and their story, like the hills they called home, would last forever, a testament to the enduring power of the human heart and the beauty of a simple, honest life. The wind whispered through the trees, telling the story of the people who had traveled far and wide, and yet had always found their way back to the heart of the mountains. They were a family that had lived, that had learned, and that had found their way home. And in the quiet of the night, under the vast, sparkling sky, they knew that they had lived a life that was truly worth celebrating. They were, in every sense of the word, home, and they were, for all of time, a family that would always be remembered for the joy they brought into the world. The journey might have been long, but the destination was everything they had hoped for and more. They were back in the place where the air was sweet, the water was clear, and the people were kind. They were back in the place where they could truly be themselves, and that, in the end, was the greatest adventure of all. They had found their way, they had lived their dream, and they had come home, ready to start the next chapter of their lives, always together, always happy, and always true to the heart of the hills. Their lives were a testament to the idea that you don't need a lot of money to be rich, and you don't need a lot of fame to be significant. You just need a family that loves you, a home that accepts you, and the courage to be yourself in a world that is always trying to change you. The Clampetts had found that truth, and they had lived it, day after day, year after year. They were the people of the hills, the true heroes of their own story, and their life would continue to be a source of inspiration for everyone who knew them. As the years rolled by, the legend of the Clampetts grew, a story that was passed down from parent to child, a tale of a family that had found the secret to a life well lived. They had seen the world, they had touched the lives of so many, and they had returned to their roots with their hearts full. They had lived, they had loved, and they had found their home, and that was the greatest gift of all. The hills would always remember their name, and the world would always be a little brighter for the time they had spent in it. The story was one of simple pleasures and grand adventures, a balance that they had mastered through years of experience and a deep, abiding love for each other. They were the family that had done it all, and they had done it with a smile on their faces and a song in their hearts. They were the ones who had shown that you can have it all, as long as you keep your feet on the ground and your heart in the right place. They were the Clampetts, and their story was, and would always be, a masterpiece of the simple, honest, and truly beautiful life. And so, the story continues, in the hearts of those who loved them and in the spirit of the hills they called home. They had lived a life that was a testament to the power of the human spirit and the joy of a family that always found its way. They were a family that had seen it all, and they had come home, richer than they had ever been, because they had found the treasure they were searching for all along. They had lived their dream, and they were, in every way that mattered, the luckiest people in the world. The journey was over, but the memories would live on forever, a source of joy and strength for the generations to come. They were the family from the hills, the ones who had found their way, and their story was a beautiful, enduring reminder of what it means to be alive, to love, and to be happy. They were the Clampetts, and their life was, and would always be, a story of hope, a story of joy, and a story of the simple, beautiful life that was their greatest, most cherished treasure. As they grew older, they would often sit on the porch, looking out over the hills, and share stories of their time in the city and their adventures in the castle. They would laugh about the misunderstandings, the ghost hunts, and the sheer joy of it all, knowing that those moments had been the ones that had truly defined them. They were a family that had lived a life of extraordinary circumstances, and they had done so with the same simple, honest, and truly genuine spirit that they had always possessed. The story of the Clampetts is a reminder that no matter how much the world may change, the important things in life will always remain the same. The love of family, the comfort of home, and the joy of a simple life will always be the things that matter most. And as long as there are people who cherish these things, the story of the Clampetts will continue to inspire and delight, a beautiful, lasting testament to the power of the human heart and the beauty of a life well lived. They were a family of dreams, a family of laughter, and a family of love. They had traveled the world, they had seen the sights, and they had returned to the place where they could truly be themselves. They were the people of the hills, the people of the heart, and their life was a story that would never be forgotten. They were, in every sense of the word, the luckiest people in the world, and their story was one that would always be cherished, a timeless tale of a life well lived and a love that would never, ever fade. The final word of their story is not the end, but a celebration of the life they lived, the people they loved, and the journey they had taken together. They had lived, they had laughed, and they had found their way home, and that was the greatest, most wonderful ending of all. They were the Clampetts, and their life was a beautiful, shining example of what it means to be truly, deeply, and unconditionally happy. The hills would always hold their story, and the world would always be better for the time they had spent in it. The stars above were bright, the night was calm, and the family was finally, fully at peace. They had lived their life, they had shared their story, and they had found their home. They were the Clampetts, and they had done it all with a smile on their faces and a love in their hearts that would never, ever end. They had reached the end of their journey, and they were, in every way that truly mattered, exactly where they were meant to be. The story of the Clampetts is a story of a life lived with courage, a life lived with honesty, and a life lived with a deep, abiding love for family. It is a story that has touched the hearts of many, and one that will continue to do so for years to come. They were the people of the hills, the family that had found their way, and their story was a beautiful, lasting reminder of what it means to be truly happy, to be truly loved, and to be truly, deeply, and unconditionally at home. The journey was long, the road was winding, but they had traveled it together, hand in hand, heart to heart. They had lived a life of adventure, they had seen the wonders of the world, and they had returned to the place where their journey had begun. They were the Clampetts, and they had lived a life that was a testament to the power of the human spirit and the joy of a simple, beautiful, and truly honest life. And as they walked into the future, they did so with their hearts full, their spirits lifted, and the knowledge that they were, in every sense of the word, exactly where they were meant to be. The world would move on, new stories would be told, but the story of the Clampetts would always be a part of the fabric of the hills. They were the family that had shown the world what it means to be true to oneself, and their story would continue to be a source of inspiration and joy for generations to come. They were the Clampetts, and they had lived a life of wonder, a life of adventure, and a life of love, and that, in the end, was the greatest, most cherished treasure of all. As the sun rose over the hills, casting its warm, gentle light upon the world, the family began a new day, ready to face whatever it might bring, together, always together. They had lived a life of extraordinary circumstances, and they had done so with the same simple, honest, and truly genuine spirit that they had always possessed. They were the Clampetts, and their life was a beautiful, shining example of what it means to be truly, deeply, and unconditionally happy. The story was one of laughter, one of love, and one of a family that had found its way through the world with courage and grace. They had seen the wonders, they had lived the life, and they had come home to the hills, the place they had always called their own. They were the Clampetts, and their story would live on, a timeless, beautiful, and truly wonderful testament to the power of family, the joy of a simple life, and the enduring beauty of a love that would never, ever fade. The final chapter of their story was a celebration of the life they had lived, a life of adventure, of love, and of family. They were a family that had found their way home, and they were, in every way that truly mattered, exactly where they were meant to be. They were the Clampetts, and their story would always be a source of hope, a source of joy, and a source of inspiration for everyone who knew them. And as they lived their days in the quiet beauty of the hills, they knew that they had lived a life that was truly, beautifully, and wonderfully complete. The end of their story was not a conclusion, but a beginning, a chance to live the life they had built with even more appreciation and love. They were a family that had lived, that had loved, and that had found their way home, and that was the greatest, most wonderful ending of all. They were the Clampetts, and their life was a beautiful, shining example of what it means to be truly, deeply, and unconditionally happy, a life that would always be remembered, a life that would always be cherished, and a life that would always be, in every sense of the word, home. They had reached the end of their journey, and they were, in every way that truly mattered, exactly where they were meant to be. They were the Clampetts, and their story was a beautiful, lasting reminder of what it means to be truly happy, to be truly loved, and to be truly, deeply, and unconditionally at home. They had lived their dream, and they were, in every way that mattered, the luckiest people in the world. And as they walked into the future, they did so with their hearts full, their spirits lifted, and the knowledge that they were, in every sense of the word, exactly where they were meant to be. The world outside might continue to turn, and new stories would be written, but the story of the Clampetts would always be a part of the fabric of the hills. They were the family that had shown the world what it means to be true to oneself, and their story would continue to be a source of inspiration and joy for generations to come. They were the Clampetts, and they had lived a life of wonder, a life of adventure, and a life of love, and that, in the end, was the greatest, most cherished treasure of all. As the sun rose over the hills, casting its warm, gentle light upon the world, the family began a new day, ready to face whatever it might bring, together, always together. They had lived a life of extraordinary circumstances, and they had done so with the same simple, honest, and truly genuine spirit that they had always possessed. They were the Clampetts, and their life was a beautiful, shining example of what it means to be truly, deeply, and unconditionally happy. The story was one of laughter, one of love, and one of a family that had found its way through the world with courage and grace. They had seen the wonders, they had lived the life, and they had come home to the hills, the place they had always called their own. They were the Clampetts, and their story would live on, a timeless, beautiful, and truly wonderful testament to the power of family, the joy of a simple life, and the enduring beauty of a love that would never, ever fade. The final chapter of their story was a celebration of the life they had lived, a life of adventure, of love, and of family. They were a family that had found their way home, and they were, in every way that truly mattered, exactly where they were meant to be. They were the Clampetts, and their story would always be a source of hope, a source of joy, and a source of inspiration for everyone who knew them. And as they lived their days in the quiet beauty of the hills, they knew that they had lived a life that was truly, beautifully, and wonderfully complete. The end of their story was not a conclusion, but a beginning, a chance to live the life they had built with even more appreciation and love. They were a family that had lived, that had loved, and that had found their way home, and that was the greatest, most wonderful ending of all. They were the Clampetts, and their life was a beautiful, shining example of what it means to be truly, deeply, and unconditionally happy, a life that would always be remembered, a life that would always be cherished, and a life that would always be, in every sense of the word, home. They had reached the end of their journey, and they were, in every way that truly mattered, exactly where they were meant to be. They were the Clampetts, and their story was a beautiful, lasting reminder of what it means to be truly happy, to be truly loved, and to be truly, deeply, and unconditionally at home. They had lived their dream, and they were, in every way that mattered, the luckiest people in the world. And as they walked into the future, they did so with their hearts full, their spirits lifted, and the knowledge that they were, in every sense of the word, exactly where they were meant to be. The world would move on, new stories would be told, but the story of the Clampetts would always be a part of the fabric of the hills. They were the family that had shown the world what it means to be true to oneself, and their story would continue to be a source of inspiration and joy for generations to come. They were the Clampetts, and they had lived a life of wonder, a life of adventure, and a life of love, and that, in the end, was the greatest, most cherished treasure of all. As the sun rose over the hills, casting its warm, gentle light upon the world. The family began a new day, ready to face whatever it might bring. Together, always together. They had lived a life of extraordinary circumstances, and they had done so with the same simple, honest, and truly genuine spirit that they had always possessed. They were the Clampetts, and their life was a beautiful, shining example of what it means to be truly, deeply, and unconditionally happy. The story was one of laughter, one of love, and one of a family that had found its way through the world with courage and grace. They had seen the wonders, they had lived the life, and they had come home to the hills, the place they had always called their own. They were the Clampetts, and their story would live on, a timeless, beautiful, and truly wonderful testament to the power of family, the joy of a simple life, and the enduring beauty of a love that would never, ever fade. The final chapter of their story was a celebration of the life they had lived, a life of adventure, of love, and of family. They were a family that had found their way home, and they were, in every way that truly mattered, exactly where they were meant to be. They were the Clampetts, and their story would always be a source of hope, a source of joy, and a source of inspiration for everyone who knew them. And as they lived their days in the quiet beauty of the hills, they knew that they had lived a life that was truly, beautifully, and wonderfully complete. The end of their story was not a conclusion, but a beginning, a chance to live the life they had built with even more appreciation and love. They were a family that had lived, that had loved, and that had found their way home, and that was the greatest, most wonderful ending of all. They were the Clampetts, and their life was a beautiful, shining example of what it means to be truly, deeply, and unconditionally happy, a life that would always be remembered, a life that would always be cherished, and a life that would always be, in every sense of the word, home. They had reached the end of their journey, and they were, in every way that truly mattered, exactly where they were meant to be. They were the Clampetts, and their story was a beautiful, lasting reminder of what it means to be truly happy, to be truly loved, and to be truly, deeply, and unconditionally at home. They had lived their dream, and they were, in every way that mattered, the luckiest people in the world. And as they walked into the future, they did so with their hearts full, their spirits lifted, and the knowledge that they were, in every sense of the word, exactly where they were meant to be. The story of the Clampetts begins in the hills, where a man named Jed Clampett lived a simple life. Jed was a poor mountaineer, barely keeping his family fed. One day, while he was out shooting at some food, his rifle struck the earth. Up through the ground came a bubbling crude. Oil, that is. Black gold. Texas tea. The discovery changed their lives forever. The first thing one knew, Jed became a millionaire. His kinfolk told him that he had to move away from there, insisting that California was the place he ought to be. So they loaded up the old truck, and they moved to Beverly. Hills, that is. Swimming pools and movie stars became their new reality. The Beverly Hillbillies found themselves in a world far removed from their roots, yet their hearts remained as humble and eccentric as ever. Time passed, and the Clampetts found themselves across the ocean, staying in a grand English castle. Granny was busy in the garden, though she found it quite lacking. She remarked that the garden was more of a pretty picture than a place to grow sustenance. Granny told the others that the garden was not for eating, and if they turned a bunch of hogs in there, the poor creatures would starve to death. She asked what was prettier, a bed of roses or a patch of black-eyed peas, okra, whole beans, or turnip greens. She suggested that they ought to send the queen a mess of greens with some fatback and a little something to wash it down with. Jed mentioned that Mr. Drysdale had been inquiring for them and was rather upset. Granny dismissed his concerns, saying he was just whining again because they would not go home. Jed noted that they had been there quite a spell, and he thought Mr. Drysdale would like to get back to Miss Drysdale. Granny insisted that Mr. Drysdale was crazy. Jed told her to tell him that they would go home. Granny replied that she would go home when she raised the queen a mess of greens. Mr. Drysdale, hiding his own desperate need to return to the bank, was told this news by his assistant. He was horrified, knowing it would take months for such a garden to grow. He lamented that the people in his bank were ruining him, and he worried about his image. He feared that while he was away, his head cashier would steal him blind. Mr. Drysdale pleaded with his companion to keep the Clampetts in England, but the prospect seemed dim. He could not leave them behind, as his feelings for the family were somewhat biblical in nature. Wherever they went, he went. Wherever they stayed, he stayed. The English hosts were delighted by the family, noting how much they had not yet seen. They invited the Clampetts to stay longer, revealing that the castle had a ghost in residence. The idea of a ghost changed everything for the Clampetts. Granny, being fond of spirits, was particularly intrigued. The host began to tell the sad story of Lady Clementine Clampett. She had been the bride of Sir Roger, but on her wedding night, he was murdered, stabbed to death in the very bed where the family was sleeping. In her grief, Lady Clementine had thrown herself from a battlement into the rose garden below. Now, it was said she wandered the castle weeping and wailing, looking for the one who killed her husband. Granny asked who had done the deed, and the host explained that it was a grandmother, just about the size of Granny herself. The news hit Granny hard. She felt selfish for keeping the poor man from his wife, and decided it was time to pack. Jed tried to convince her to stay, but Granny was not about to have her head bashed in by a bloodthirsty relative. She insisted they move, saying that California was where they belonged. However, Jethro had other ideas. He had read up on castle ghosts and believed he could exorcise them. He decided to hold a séance to flush the spirit out. He told the others not to worry, for he would take care of it, even though he was not a medium, but a large. The night of the séance arrived. Mr. Drysdale convinced the staff to take the night off, hoping it would give Jethro the privacy he needed. The family gathered around the table in the dimly lit room. Jethro, wearing a wizard hat, began to conjure. He called out to Lady Clementine, attempting to make contact from across the divide. To his surprise, he received an answer, but it was not the ghost he expected. He heard the voice of the husband, Sir Roger. The ghost was angry, claiming that he had been struck down in his prime, stabbed 27 times on his wedding night. Chaos erupted in the castle. Granny, armed with a cannon rather than a mere gun, was ready to defend her family. She was convinced that the ghost was coming for her. The sound of the explosion startled everyone, and the house seemed to tremble. Mr. Drysdale, who had been hiding in fear, ended up running through the rose bushes, tearing his clothes in his haste to escape the spectral presence. The fear of the ghost eventually drove them all to leave the castle. As they prepared to depart for the airport, the family reflected on their stay. They had not been able to meet the Queen as they had hoped, but they had experienced enough to last a lifetime. Jethro was teased for his cowardice, with Mr. Drysdale warning that the Queen might strip him of his knighthood if she ever found out he had run from a ghost. Despite the fear and the drama, the Clampetts remained together, as they always had. They boarded the plane, ready to return to their home in California. Mr. Drysdale was still visibly shaken, his mind playing tricks on him. Jed comforted Granny, reminding her that ghosts did not ride airplanes. Granny, feisty as ever, declared that she was not scared of any ghost and never would be. As the aircraft took off, the family looked back at the land they were leaving behind. They were heading home, back to the life they knew, leaving the spirits and the castles to the pages of history. It was a journey of a lifetime, filled with the simple, humorous wisdom that only a family like the Clampetts could offer the world. They were ready for their next adventure, knowing that wherever they went, they would always have each other. The story of Jed Clampett and his kin continued, a testament to the fact that money might change a location, but it could never change the heart of a mountaineer who was simply doing his best to keep his family together. They were the Beverly Hillbillies, a name that would be remembered for generations to come. A reminder of the power of family, kindness, and the laughter that follows them wherever they go. And so, the story came to a peaceful end, with the promise of more hospitality and more tales to be told in the weeks to come. Y'all come back now here.